What's cracking, everybody? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon GO Battle League content. Today's video, we're taking a dive once again into the Master League with a look at buffed Mudslap Rhyperior, and there's an XL Solgaleo. I mean, that's pretty dope. I wish I had one. Maybe someday when I get enough rare XLs. But anyway, we've also got double Legacy Rayquaza on the lead. Let's take a look at Lost Heart 85's team here in the Master League. Appreciate you, my dude, for sending in the battles. Trainers, if you'd like to send in battles for Shoutcasting, I have a link in the description to the pinned comment to a Google form you can fill out and send in the battles. Thank you very much for the submission, Trainer. Let's get into the battles here in the Master League. We got Rayquaza on the lead versus Dragonite. Very neutral. Both Pokemon doing super effective damage to each other here. And you're just going to have to see what happens. So, yeah, that's like one of two things happens, right? They either CMP or one trainer tries to catch the move. And in this case, trainer tried to catch the move. Lost Heart comes in with his Rhyperior. And Rhyperior now is going to be able to do super effective damage back to the other Rhyperior because they're both running Mudslap. Opponent is using a Purified Rhyperior for the flex. They probably had a Shadow, like I wish I did, that could Purify into a Hundo. I would use a Purified Hundo. If it was like a 13, 14, 15 or something like that I just Purify, I would 100% do it. Anyway, they're back here throwing mud at each other, trying to use debuff tactics. It's not working, unfortunately. Mudslap down, but lose switch here. Metagross is going to come in. Super effective damage from those bullet punches. But there is a Solgaleo in the back, and in comes Dragonite to farm down. And honestly, that Solgaleo is looking pretty good right now. Rayquaza comes in. Ooh, yeah, you got. I think you got to go for the no shield here. Dragon Claw does take out the Rayquaza, and Solgaleo is going to come in and resist everything except for the superpower from this Dragonite. But you have to save the shield, however, for the Metagross, unfortunately. But that Solgaleo's got some bulk to it, man. And they're going to go for the Psychic Fangs here on the CMP. If they're counting, they'll know if this was a Dragon Claw. They're going to go for the shield, knowing it's a superpower. Very nice shield here. And unfortunately for Solgaleo, now it's wide open for Metagross to just come in and hit it out with an Earthquake. So, opponent's going to save 2 shields for the Metagross. And it's, I mean, yeah, so Lost Heart just decides to give in there. So, good game. Rayquaza in the next game against Dialga, not a very strong lead, but 2 better answers in the back, so we see an immediate pivot into Rhyperior. Looks like that is the safe swap designated for this team. If you want to use it yourself, you hit a bad lead, you go into the Rhyperior and try to get advantage of some sort. Breaking Swipe is going to be able to do super effective damage and get a debuff on this Giratina Origin here. And Shield's going to come up on Lost Heart's side against this Rhyperior, for the Rhyperior. Shadow Ball does get shielded. It's a very good shield here. Not sure how much damage this does. Personally, I don't have as much experience with the Master League. I don't have Dialga or Zacian, so it makes it very difficult for me to be able to build teams. I also don't have Rhyperior. I don't have Solgaleo. I don't have a lot of things that have now become central meta, right? So every time I make a team in this league, it feels just awkward, and I can't really seem to cope with it. But we're going to see Groudon come in here onto the Rhyperior, and honestly, this is perfect because Rayquaza can now align itself straight onto the Groudon here, and Solgaleo just sitting back there for moral support at this point. Rhyperior is going to be chilling. Solgaleo is just going to rip. Is going to rip the Dialga up, and then Rayquaza gets the alignment on the Groudon. This is looking like a good game already to me, honestly. The RPS is strong with this one here, as they're able to flip that switch advantage and get in with the Solgaleo into the much better matchup now. I know Solgaleo can run Solar Beam, but typically you'll see him running Iron Head, Psychic Fangs. That Fire Spin buff, by the way, makes a difference. I don't know what it makes a difference in. Y'all can let me know in the comments what it actually makes a difference in as far as matchups go. But the opponent full sends the Draco Meteor, realizing that is their only key to victory here. Saving 2 shields for who knows what. Groudon, I think, is almost out of HP anyway. So Draco Meteor number 2. The opponent in shambles as their Draco Meteor is not going to be enough to KO. The Groudon is now going to throw the energy here right away. And Rayquaza just locks this down easily. Fire Punch is enough to KO, but a few Dragon Tails is going to KO the Groudon. This is going to be a good game. Well played. Not even Precipice Blades can take down the mighty beast. There it is. All right, getting into the next game here. We got Rayquaza on the lead versus Dialga. Again, not such a great lead, so they're going to see another immediate pivot into the Rhyperior. One thing that I noticed, and this trainer is from my Patreon Discord. They've been in there for a while. Have gotten a lot of teachings under their wing since being in their community, and there's amazing, and they're a very active part of it, which is really awesome to see. Link in the description and the pinned comment for the Patreon too. It's really, really awesome place to be. You know, there's a dedicated group of trainers in there that just play Master League, and they're really cool people to learn from when I'm not, you know, as well tuned to it as I am. Having that group of people in there is actually very helpful, and I'm also learning things every day from them as well. So really, really good place to be, honestly. Not only do you get all the, you know, the teams and everything early, and before it hits YouTube, meta-analysis, all that stuff, but you also get access to just a really awesome group of people. So, Lost Heart, appreciate you for being a subscriber. I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much. And we're going to see this Landorus go for the superpower to take out the Rhyperior, and then we're going to come up with a Solgaleo here and look to try and farm down. Not really worried about the moveset here because all the damage is either neutral or not very effective, rather. Superpower doing less and less damage with each one thrown, and honestly not doing too much as it's neutral thanks to that psychic typing on the Solgaleo. Getting that full farm down and an immediate pivot back into Rayquaza. Ho-Oh comes out and is staying in, looking to maybe go for that Brave Bird. Opponent, yeah, they're going straight for the Brave Bird, forcing the shield off Rayquaza, but now Rayquaza has some energy, and that's pretty dangerous, and the opponent's staying in. I'm pretty sure they had a Dialga in the back, no? Their switch timer is surely up by now. Trainer, where's your Dialga? What's happening? What is happening? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Am I mistaken? I gotta wait to see what's in the back. Now I feel confused. Now I feel like I've made a mistake because Solgaleo just eats Dialga for breakfast. Yeah, Brave Bird, sure, it takes it out. It's a Dialga. Okay, well, I guess Dialga was low. All right, fine. Fair enough. Dialga's super low, then that means that, dude, look at Solgaleo, such a pretty Pokemon, dude. Look at its face. It's just the galaxy in its face. I love it. It's so cool. Anyway, Solgaleo's going to get the farm down, and a Psychic Fang should be more than enough to KO the Ho-Oh from this range, so it's going to be a good game. Well played. Excuse me. Getting into the next battle here, we're going to have Rayquaza on the lead versus an opposing Rayquaza. So, just like the Dragonite lead, usually a game of chicken. Either they're going to CMP, and it looks like Lost Heart has a slightly higher CP, so it's probable that they both have 15 attack, but have, you know, maybe 15 or 14, or 14 HP or defense, rather. So, unfortunately, Lost Heart's Rayquaza loses the CMP. I think it's just a coin toss. The opponent takes the shield advantage and immediately pops him with a Metagross. And their Metagross is not going to have a very good time here, but because Rhyperior's damage is only going to come from those Mud Slaps, it just goes for Breaking Swipe in this matchup, hoping to get the debuff, as it does. And I don't know if Meteor Mash is going to KO with this debuff, but Lost Heart is looking to find out. Almost KOs, not quite. Rhyperior is going to come in, and this is looking really bad for Solgaleo at this point. So Rayquaza is going to have to come in and meet the Rhyperior, but the opponent's Rhyperior gets to a move much quicker now with Mud Slap. I do believe it's I don't know if it's straight 4 or is it 5-4? I think y'all can let me know in the comments because I haven't had the chance to play one because I don't have one. But I'm pretty sure that I was told it gets there in straight 4 now, I think. I could just watch the footage. There's a Rhyperior on this team, but y'all should light up my comments anyway because you can. Solgaleo now has to overcome a Rhyperior with 2 shields, and I don't know if that's going to happen. The opponent probably understanding at this point that they could just double shield and probably even farm down if they want to. But the defense drop from the Psychic Fangs is helpful. Opponent swaps in their Metagross here, and now is gonna be able to absorb a lot of damage from this. From the Solgaleo. They could just get to an Earthquake here, except they just threw, so they're not going to be able to get there. So Solgaleo gets a really nice farm down. If this trainer can get to 2 Psychic Fangs or farm down, I think, honestly, you could possibly just farm down. No, it's going to be 2. You needed 2, unfortunately, and the opponent got to a move anyway. So this is going to be a good game here as the opponent CMP tied. They're going to just get to the Breaking Swipe and take out Solgaleo, but well played either way. Ah, you poor little lion. All right, getting into the next battle here, we're going to have the Rayquaza against a Landorus. Not a bad matchup because of the amount of fast move damage difference there is here. Is, you know, the Dragon type is doing neutral, whereas Landorus is doing literally 1 damage per mud shot. But because of the threat of Stone Edge, Rayquaza does have to be careful in this matchup. And I think that going for the Breaking Swipe here and then popping into either Solgaleo or Rhyperior makes a lot of sense. So coming in with the Rhyperior here after getting the attack drop even, I think that's going to easily make it. Okay, so it is straight 4. All right, so I've discovered something new today. Mud Slap buff has now made it 4, straight 4. And people have already told me it is. I just am a bozo and I forgot what the number was. But Rhyperior easily tanks the Siren Head after those 2 debuffs. Farms down here, and then we're gonna have to see what the opponent comes in with because a Rock Wrecker is neutral. And for those of you who don't know, Rock Wrecker is a Blast Burn clone. Like, that move is no joke. And Rhyperior is no slump either. He's pretty good. We come in with the Solgaleo here. The opponent's debuffed, and they swap out. In comes a Xerneas. And now it's just, to me, a game of baiting. See who gets the shields here. A Ironhead would do a significant amount of damage. And really, the opponent doesn't have a whole lot going for them here, as Moonblast is resisted in close combat. Is neutral. They go for the resisted Moonblast, hoping for that sweet, sweet debuff, but they don't unfortunately get it. So Psychic Fangs are going to come out. The opponent might know if they were counting. Yep, so they'll be able to tell you that, or they're just saving the shield for the Landorus at this point. But Solgaleo is going to win CMP, and the Psychic Fangs here, this might be enough to knock out from this range. Psychic Fangs going to draw the final shield. That was not a CMP somehow. The Geomancy is messed up. I can never tell when it's a CMP because the actual move happens on the Xerneas' side. So letting go of Solgaleo seems like a good idea here because of the fact that the opponent's Landorus can get to that move, and they just say, I'm done. So good game. Well played. Getting into the next battle, we've got a positive lead into a Ho-Oh here. Newly buffed Ho-Oh with that Incinerate damage slaps, but they save swap into a Dialga, and in comes Rhyperior to go for the Breaking Swipe. Now, they might have something like, you know, for example, they might have Zekrom, or they might have like a Xerneas or something in the back. I've seen this team. Y'all saw this team just yesterday, in fact. If this is like the Xerneas team, right, that Mr. Sir Brazy was playing. But there's a lot of different variants of this team, right? You could play quite a few different variants of this team. There's a lot of very good cores with you know, Dialga, because it's just such a centralizing Pokemon. It's just literally one of the best things in the Master League, and I wish I had one. Maybe in a couple months when Sinnoh Tour rolls around, I'll be able to finally get my hands on the XLs. No, they've got a Zekrom in the back, dude. That is not good. Opponent says I'm not bringing my Ho-Oh back in, but they're going to bring in the Zekrom to eat dirt, literally. Mud Slap, Breaking Swipe. This is going to destroy the Zekrom, and Lost Heart gets to the move with 1 HP remaining or so, and then in comes the goodness, I can't think. In comes the Rayquaza to just completely obliterate this poor Ho-Oh. Solgaleo doesn't need to do anything. It's just sitting in the back cheering its teammates on with its little lion-shaped pom-poms going, "Go Rayquaza, go!" But the Brave Bird is going to KO the Rayquaza, and now Solgaleo is sitting there sweating, saying, man, these Incinerates are going to hurt, but I got to come in. And so Solgaleo just needs to get to a Psychic Fangs after that debuff from the Brave Bird. And I don't know if a Sacred Fire here is going to be enough. We're going to find out after that debuff. Is it enough? Sacred Fire KOs! Where's my button? Oh, no!
Boom!
Wait, what happened? It just flipped over. Give me a chance to think first. All right, I don't know what happened, but we've got Dialga versus Rhyperior here in this game. I don't know. I'm assuming that there was a Dialga save swap and a Rhyperior came into that, or the opponent just isn't swapping out. Regardless, Rhyperior is destroying this Dialga, shielding once and saving itself. The opponent now is waiting out. Either they're waiting out their switch timer, or they don't know what to do. So in comes a oh no, oh no. Rock Wrecker are gonna get that first shield off the opponent. They have to respect that damage. And Rayquaza's just sitting in the back. It just knows, and Rayquaza is fine in this matchup, but Rhyperior winning what looks to be a CMP and getting the second shield, huge. Easily just let this go, and honestly, Rayquaza can come in here. Now, this is that one time, the opponent goes for a low undercharge. They still get the farm down, even though those Incinerates are resisted. That is how much damage they do. That is insane. Drink water, folks. It's good for you. Stay hydrated. Rayquaza is going to shield up a potential Brave Bird, which it is, and then in comes the Zekrom. This is a very awkward situation for Solgaleo to be in because the Fire Spin is resisted. The Psychic Fangs are the only way it's going to do damage, but at that HP, doesn't really matter. One Psychic Fang should be enough, even though there's a Fusion Bolt or Wild Charge in its future. Not going to make a difference here, as Fusion Bolt not going to do nearly enough damage to threaten to KO. Easily going to be able to go for some extra energy here, double up on Psychic Fangs, throw one of them, take out the Zekrom, and then should be able to throw the Psychic Fangs into the next Pokemon, which should be that Ho-Oh. And that might not be enough, however. So if this little lion that can't get to a move, it's got to get to the Psychic Fangs. Can it get there before the end of the... No! He gets to a mechanic. He gets to the move one turn before the Incinerate damage goes through, and able to take that game. Well played. Into the next game, we got Dom's Twitch streamer. Also, speaking of Twitch streamers, I was told to give credit to this team to PogoFan. You probably may have missed it unless you're actually watching the video, but Lost Heart did get this team from that content creator. They are a Twitch streamer, so I was told to go and tell you to check out their channel if you haven't yet. Apparently they're... I don't watch much of the Twitch streamers. I just don't frequent Twitch very much myself, so I'm very out of touch with most of the community on Twitch, which is why I'm saying, like, you know, go check them out, because I don't know how, you know, I don't know. Because I don't follow most of the people over there anymore. I just kind of stopped being interested in Twitch. Let me know in the comments if you're a Twitch watcher or if you prefer to watch things on YouTube. I stream on YouTube simply because you guys are already here. I don't want to make you go to 2 different places at once. But both shields being invested into this Zacian. This could be dangerous for that Zacian, but Solgaleo could come in and easily get a farm down. But no, Lost Heart is going to go for this farm down, thinking he can get it. Nope, the opponent able to get to one more move. And the lost count maybe, or a wild charge isn't enough. Wait a minute, it's a wild charge. Oh, wow. That Rock Wrecker would have done a lot of damage. Breaking Swipe, gonna get one, yeah, because the 1-turn damage, right, from the Dragon Breath, it's gonna either sneak through, or you're gonna end up seeing the, you're gonna end up seeing that damage come through either before the first one or before the second one. So going for that one Rock Wrecker was probably the better call there, but yeah, Solgaleo's in the back sweating right now. Not really sure what it's gonna be able to do. Maybe it just needs to catch a move. Maybe it has a good matchup against Reshiram, and I just don't know it. But we're gonna see what Lost Heart wants to do. Looking to swap and catch the move. Is that the Brave Bird that got caught? Ooh, excuse me. That'll be a really... Ooh, dude, he caught the Brave Bird. That is massive. Is he going to be able to get to a move before the Sacred Fire comes? Yes, indeed. That gives Solgaleo a fighting chance, even against the Fusion Flare, which... Actually, no, Fusion Flare would definitely do enough damage, so what am I kidding? But if the opponent throws that Fusion Flare, they have to either double up in order to take out the Rayquaza, or they take a Psychic Fangs before they get there. That's going to take out Reshiram, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. Getting into the next battle, we got Rayquaza on Rhyperior. Very awkward matchup. It's pretty okay for Rayquaza, except because Rayquaza is so squishy, it does take a lot more damage from the Breaking Swipe, so it does sort of even out. But especially now that Mud Slap does more energy gain, and Rhyperior just gets there quicker, makes it really awkward for Rayquaza. Like, you have to use Rayquaza in this matchup now, and you can't really, like, I was a bozo back when I was playing my own Rayquaza teams and I saw Rhyperior and I'm like, huh, I should probably switch. And then I felt very bad about that after I figured out that I shouldn't be doing that. So Breaking Swipe does do some damage here, but only really works for the Rhyperior shields up. Now, immediate swap into the Rhyperior, any Kyogre comes in. So now we're seeing a situation here where the Rayquaza would have been very useful, but unfortunately couldn't really swap out because of how broken Rhyperior is against this backline. So unfortunately, the Kyogre looks like it's going to have a very strong time here. Blocking that Rock Wrecker, unfortunate for Lost Heart here. Might be looking to come in with the Rayquaza just to try and get some damage in and save the Solgaleo for the goodness, I can't think anymore. Bro, I've had a long day at work, I'm gonna be honest. I can't think anymore. But saving the Solgaleo for the Dialga, getting a farm down here. Surf wouldn't do too much damage, but the opponent probably has 2 at this point. So 1 Surf, 2 Surf, Red Surf, Blue Surf, going for the farm down here, and has to shield 1 move. Let's see if the Dialga is going to be able to go down. Not a chance, dude. Even though the entire moveset's resisted, I do not see a world where Dialga loses matchup. I think at this point it is at a at a range where 1 single Draco Meteor will KO here. So most likely gonna be the end of our poor boy Solgaleo. Opponent saving that shield, but not gonna use it. They're gonna go for the Draco Meteor, and I guarantee there's gonna be enough damage. It's Draco Meteor. Like, come on, even resisted, that's enough damage. Yep. It's a Thunder. Never mind. Okay, that'll do it. Yep. Somebody was clearly tired of seeing Solgaleo. Kyogre on the lead, though. This is where you want to see it. Opponent having a leak to Rayquaza makes Lost Heart probably pretty happy in this matchup. So in comes the Dialga. Here comes Rhyperior. We've seen this song and dance many times already. So apparently Rhyperior is just out here eating Dialgas alive today, as it's going to be able to just farm down after this. Easily able to tank 1. Iron Head doesn't even need to shield in this matchup, which is pretty disgusting if you ask me. That's just crazy. If you don't get the debuff, you have to shield if you don't get the debuff. But if you get that debuff before they get the Iron Head off, you live it, and you barely do. So we're going to see the opponent likely come back in with that Kyogre. Breaking Swipe is going to fire off before they have a chance to get that serve through. And Rayquaza gets to maintain positive alignment here on the Kyogre. The opponent staying in. Maybe their switch timer is not up yet. Solgaleo comes in on the Xerneas. Opponent's like, not doing, I'm out. Good game. Rayquaza on a Ho-Oh, very positive lead here as far as the fast moves go, but that Brave Bird does force the Rayquaza to shield, so we're going to see them go for the CMP tie, and the opponent doesn't fall for it, and goes for the extra Incinerate. Most Rayquazas will throw on that CMP, trying to catch them in that Brave Bird. Now, now the opponent's Ho-Oh can just freely go for these Brave Birds and not have to worry about having to shield if they don't want to, but now is the time where they're going to shield if they want to commit to this, or they could just take the shield advantage and go down with it, which they do decide that they are going to stay in and go for another Brave Bird, but Lost Heart sees it coming, comes in with the Rhyperior, and is going to be able to start getting some farm. Now, Zacian's going to come in, and it has Quick Attack, so the fast move damage is resisted due to the Rock typing, and Rhyperior goes immediately for the Rock Wrecker. No reason to go for Dragon-type damage in this matchup. Guaranteed, or the debuff is not guaranteed, plus also you have to keep in mind that it's double resistant. So it's just, it would be a bad bait. Now, yes, the opponent did shield, but if that was an actual, like, you know, they decided not to shield, that's just a waste of energy for Lost Heart. So makes a lot of sense for them to decide to go straight for the Rock Wrecker, guarantee the damage or the shield. Close combat, not going to do too much to this Solgaleo, but having to shield up the second close combat because it would put Solgaleo far enough into the, you know, nearly in the red, I do believe, but should now be able to farm down as the Quick Attack is not going to be able to generate enough energy to get there. Lost Heart going for the Iron Head with the Solgaleo here, looking to do as much damage as possible as both moves are resisted. Psychic Fang is going to come through. Maybe we were expecting another Fairy, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe usually I would assume they go for Psychic Fangs here, but no, here comes the Ho-Oh, and Rayquaza is going to come in and get this nice farm down here, and that is going to put the Breaking Swipe down for the Rayquaza, but now, unfortunately, that's also going to give Dialga some farm, so you got to be careful now if Solgaleo is going to eat another Thunder, or it doesn't matter, because Rayquaza is going to get it low enough that the Psychic Fangs might even KO, and one more Fire Spin will do the trick, so now it's going to be a matter of who's got the damage. Does the Draco Meteor? No, it's not even a Draco Meteor, it doesn't matter. Psychic Fangs is enough. That's going to be a good game. Very well played here. Solgaleo taking names, especially ones named Dialga. Getting into the final game here, we have Rayquaza into Giratina. Very good lead because Giratina doing neutral damage while his Rayquaza is doing super effective. Opponent safe swaps into Tyranitar, and the opponent says, no fam, I'm out. You know what? Same. Every time I see Tyranitar, I cry. So that's a good game here. Very nice games here, showcasing how strong Rhyperior is, especially when it gets locked in against things like Dialga. It's a very good Dialga Ho-Oh core breaker, especially like the dragons in general, because it has that Breaking Swipe and it has Mud Slap, which a lot of the dragon typings are weak to ground. So that's really huge in this meta. I still think that Rhyperior is one of the best things that you can use in this meta as a core breaker. So if you have one, put it to good use. Trainers, that's going to do it for me for today. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.